Hispanic Festival brings Hispanic culture and traditions through events and community outreach. And joining us today are board members Elisa Maria Bender and Victor Espinoza. Welcome, Victor and Elisa. So glad you could join us today.
Thank you.
So Hispanic Festival, it's more than a festival. It's a lot of events and festivals in St. Louis. Is that right?
Right, yeah, we do different types of Hispanic Festival events, and then we do presentations, and we do a lot of community outreach to the Hispanic community as well.
Okay, and how long ago was the Hispanic Festival group formed to start all this outreach? Do you know? You've been involved for a really long time, and Victor, you as well.
Yeah, It started actually back in 1994, and it started with a small group of some local Hispanic community leaders and $500, and a one-day, couple-hour event at Faust Park. And
in Chesterfield?
Yes,
okay.
Yes. Before what Faust Park is now,
yeah.
before the renovation with the beautiful butterfly house. But yeah, started back in 1994, and then after that, it just, 24 years later now, several events, several days outside of the events, doing other presentations, working with schools, and, doing community outreach.
Yeah.
So.
Victor, why do you think it's important that we have Hispanic events here in St. Louis?
It's important so people can know what our culture is about. A lot of people are afraid to come out and show what we're actually like. So we like to show them our foods, our dress, how we dress, kind of like so they can be familiar and they won't be like afraid to approach us because we're wearing something different. There's more diversity, so you can get to know our culture, to express what we like, and also what we actually do throughout the day to make our life happier.
Yeah, so that's fun. Wait a minute, I'm going to go back to that. What you do throughout your day to make life happier. Okay, so let's talk about what are some of those things. I love that. That's a great theme.
Well, we like to we love food. We like to cook. We like everything like between tacos and all kinds of what people are normally known for. But we also like to dance. We like to sing. We like to just express ourselves in different ways, so that way we're happy within ourselves. It starts in the family. So if you're happy in the family, you can actually go out and explore different areas and won't be intimidated by other people.
Yeah, in retaining that culture, whether it's Hispanic or any other of our many diverse cultures here in St. Louis and throughout the United States, to celebrate those things and starting in the home. I think that's really a great ideal. So Elisa, do you have anything to add to what Victor said about the importance of bringing this culture, these cultural traditions here to our community members?
Well, yes, actually. So our Hispanic festivals draw a pretty diverse crowd. So we target local Hispanics, the local Hispanic community that's here in the Greater St. Louis area. So they can come and they can celebrate traditions that they had to leave from. They had to leave Mexico or South America, so they can come celebrate this. And also the next generation who are born and raised here, who aren't born to, running down to a Mexican grocery store or Mexican store just down the street. So it's a time for that community to celebrate. But then also, which is great here in St. Louis, it's a lot of non-Hispanics come out because they want to learn about the culture, they want to taste the food, they want to hear the music. So it's really great that we have these different communities involved and celebrating together.
So in the over 20 years from that first formation, the $500 in Faust Park, have you seen, obviously there's been a lot of growth.
Right.
So in what ways has the Hispanic Festival and your outreach and your events changed and grown over these years?
Well, I think one of the things is in the last probably good 10 years, the Hispanic population has just exploded in this area. I myself was born and raised here in St. Louis, and growing up, I was the only Hispanic in school. In high school, there was only 2 of us, and for a long time everyone knew each other because there weren't that many of us and only a few businesses. In the last 10 years, it's just exploded. And with that, thankfully, has been a lot more even interest in it. So, and then even with social media, it is just people now can keep up and are aware and wanting to experience. And again, the different communities are really supportive.
Yeah, and Victor, you are a transplant to St. Louis from California, where the Hispanic culture is more prevalent, I would imagine, where you're from in California than here. But have you seen growth here like Elisa's talking about?
Oh, yes, definitely. coming back from California, you have more different diversity over there versus here. Over there, you have every day pretty much you have something different you can go to. Here, it was more secluded in a way. But throughout the years when I actually came here in St. Louis back in 2006, I've seen an actual big growth, because before where I'm living at now in O'Fallon, Missouri, before I used to not see no Hispanics out there, and now I actually go to a local Walmart or local store and I actually see more Hispanic. I'm amazed about how I see a lot more nowadays.
Yeah, and maybe even a Hispanic food section in Walmart. Okay, we're going to come back and talk about some of the great events coming up this year in St. Louis with the Hispanic Festival. So stay with us at STL Live. We'll have more for you after this break.